Hello and welcome back to Cuckoo for Books. My name is Salva and today I'm going to be doing a book review of the very awaited Gemina by Amy Kaufman and Kristoff. All in all, I think this book was an improvement on Illuminate, if that was even possible. It definitely makes you think more. There were times in the book, particularly towards the end, where I was like, one moment, let me just try to ingest all that information into my teeny weeny brain and try to figure things out. And then I would just close it and stare at the wall for like 30 minutes. I'm like, I don't understand. It doesn't center around Katie and Ezra. It's sort of the other side of the spectrum, or the other side of the galaxy, if you will. And two new characters. I was afraid I wasn't gonna like them. You know what? Tell you a little secret. I think I ended up loving them more than I did Katie and Ezra. This book, I would call this book like Home Alone in space. The biotech enemy goes to them. There were times I was like, this is Home Alone in space. This is little Kevin, what's his name? Kevin McAllister trying to run from biotech. And the feeling of isolation is definitely gone. I talked about that in the first book, how towards the end I was like, there's nothing really to live for. Sorry, Katie. But this one, I think the energy of the book definitely stayed on top until the very end. Very, very action-packed and exciting, and I wanted to know what was next. If I'm being honest, it got even more interesting towards the end, and we'll talk about that in the spoiler section. One of the things I really loved about this novel was that the first novel was all action. It was like bam, 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 bam. This time I feel like it wasn't all about trying to impress us with action scenes. The pacing was slower, which was good, because I think if it had gone too much like the first book, it would have just been another rehash of the first book. The action scenes were just as good as the first one. I think the action scenes in this novel used more of like the characters' wits. There was only one scene that I felt was too gratuitous and felt like the authors just wanted to be shocking, and so put that scene just for the shock value. That didn't really add to the characters' motivation. They were already pretty dang motivated by that point. There are a few characters who return, one of which is my least favorite character in the series, if he can be called a character at all. If he can be even called a he. I don't think that's a big spoiler because they're still in space and Katie and Ezra are still a part of the story, which meant that Aiden would still be a part of the story. He does play a substantial role in this novel, which I wasn't too crazy about. The Black Pages came back. The Black Pages from Illuminate came back. He's definitely less annoying now, but I was like, really? You're not gonna give me 20 pages of Ezra? You're gonna give me 20 pages of Aiden? Good talk. For those of you who have gotten an arc or, you know, marathoned it on the first day, I'll try to put this video out on the release day. If you've read the book, all aboard the spoiler train. Choo choo! Let's talk about Jackson. I should have known. I think there's this YA trope. If you're the boyfriend when the series starts, you're never gonna make it towards the end. She's gonna break up with you. So reading about Jackson in the first part and how in love Hannah was with him, I was like, how is she gonna break up? How is the author gonna do this? Please don't kill him. And so when the big reveal happened that he was working for Biotech, I was like, I should have known. I should have seen that coming, and I didn't. And I felt betrayed. Maybe not as much as Hannah, but I totally felt betrayed. And I was like, the whole Gemina theory with the particle, that just messed me up. And I tried not to I just took the information that the book gave and I just rolled with it. I didn't try to think too much about what was going on in universe, because that would have just messed me up and too much science for me. I will read what the book says and understand what the book says, and that's it. I'm not wondering any further. I like the graph that the book did, by the way. That was, I think, very helpful, because up until then my mind was just going, what is going on? I don't understand. You need to talk less science. When they put, okay, I'll draw a diagram. Good. And that about does it for my review of Gemina. You can follow me on my other bookish adventures on Twitter and Instagram, both at Cuckoo for Books. Please subscribe. I will see you guys hopefully in the next week. Bye, guys.